everyone! I wanted to record another video for those who don't know me. My name is Isabel Hunt. I am a certified transformation coach, emotions clearing practitioner, an empath warrior, author of the book The Power of Faith-Driven Success, and speaker. Usually I talk about the topics of the power of intuition, trust, and perseverance, as well as about my favorite topic of emotions, using emotions as our guide, our compass through life. And so today I want to talk with you about something that came up for me last Sunday. Last Sunday we went just to church. And usually when I'm sitting there and he's talking his sermon up front, I start to have some ideas and some thoughts, and then I get my Evernote out and write it down because I usually forget it real fast. And so while he was talking, and I can't remember what he really was talking about, really. I mean, I think I do, but it wasn't related to even what thoughts came up for me. But often I just pray that God will give me some thoughts while I'm sitting there. And again, my work is not necessarily religious, it is spiritual work. So it's when I talk about spiritual work, that is really the soul work, the heart work, and emotions is one of them. So I was thinking about, how is God speaking to us? Oh, that's what he was talking to us. He was talking about how God's speaking to us, and how we're called to take risk and greater things, and how to, what else did he say? How to step into those greater things with trust, like really stepping into things that only are God-size. And so I was thinking about my work and how is God speaking to us, because I hear that a lot with people who do spiritual work. How is God speaking to us? Is there a God? Is there a divine power? Is there something? How we're being communicated with, something that's really coming from such a deeper level. And I thought about my work and it was like, yes, totally. I mean, God may not show up with a burning bush anymore, or there may not be a fire cloud in the air, because, well, we all know the consequences if that would happen. For one, people would freak out. Second, fire trucks would be all over the place, and you know, like, there's a bush that won't stop burning. I don't know what to do with it. Like, water doesn't help. Let it just burn down. It might burn down my house. Like, people literally would freak out. Anyways, that's not what I was talking about. But those really visual signs are sometimes hard to find, because especially within our fast-paced society, we overlook the smallest signs. We overlook the smallest communication channel that is there. And spiritual work, internal work, is quiet work. That's why I think in the Bible it talks about a lot, be still and know that I'm God. It's just one of the ways how we are supposed to reflect. In our world, we tend to react, and this is why I even got into the work about emotions. I started out working with empath and empath warriors. I coined that term empath warrior because there's a difference between those two. And then I was like, okay, our native language really is emotions, and especially for empath, that makes even more sense. That is even more important. That foundational work is even more important. And so I studied and really got myself to be an expert on the topic of emotions, and not just spiritually taking a look at emotions, but also scientifically, and how our body works and how it transfers through our nervous system and body system and the metaphysics behind it. So it's really fascinating topic. As you can tell, I could talk about it forever. That's why you need to listen to all of my interviews that you can, by the way, find on my website. But it's just a really fascinating topic to me. But then again, I going back to the sermon, it's like, how is God really speaking to us? Not just in the sitting in silence and meditating and praying, but I really truly believe that it is also through our native language, emotions. And that is driving me even more to getting it out there and to help people understand. I mean, Susan David, she just posted her TED Talk, which was like 30 million views. And so I was like, I know people are open to it. I've been teaching about that for the last 5 years. And I always get like the ugly eye on the side of like, what are you talking about? What? Emotion? No, I don't want to deal with my emotions. I want to deal with my crap. And now all those people coming out like, hey, Oprah was talking to the scientists in Michigan, talking about how childhood trauma influences our adult life. Yes, we have been talking about that for a couple of years, but people didn't quite want to hear it. So I think now they're open to hearing it. It feels like people are like, yeah, what is it about? We're so yearning for quietness, for stillness within ourselves, a sense of peace, that we're now finally starting to look at the deeper picture. What is it actually that we can tangibly use to create that sense of peace, that sense of freedom? And I truly believe it's through the foundation of our emotions. We have created relationships to our emotions that are really hurtful and painful. We're emotionally underdeveloped as a society because we are so fast-paced, and we don't really take the time to listen what each one of them has to say. But if we understand the meaning of each emotion, we can actually hear the divine speak to us very clearly. Because what it always is about is, when something shows up, the question is, are you in alignment with your true essence? Are you in alignment with who I created you to be? Are you in alignment with what I want for you, my child? Not me, God, right? And that question shows up, and that's what emotions communicate with us throughout our life. If you feel frustrated, are you in alignment, or do you need to take that next step? Do you feel angry? Are you in alignment with your core? Are you in alignment with what you're truly called to do, or do you need to recreate and take a look at your boundaries around you and the way other people respect your boundaries and you respect your boundaries? Like, those little messages are just so profound, and over the last years, just implementing it myself has helped me so much to just create a different relationship to emotion that is so much more empowered. And that drove me to creating that online course that's coming out March 21st. We're still working on the details, setting it up, but the website is going to be theempoweredwarrior.com. Just if anyone is watching this video later, it's not online yet. It's not live yet. You need to wait until the 21st. But where I go through all the main emotions and give you a bit of a picture of what is the actual message of them. Why did we create such a distorted relationship to this specific emotion when it actually can support us? Some way, a channel that God can speak through us. So for everyone who is especially spiritually inclined and is attending church, emotions is part of a way how God is speaking to us and through us as well. And that's why it is so important for us to understand that foundational, basic, native language that we have been given to hear the message. To, as I said, we have to learn to reflect instead of react. But within a fast-paced society, we tend to react because we try to get ahead of everyone else. Then to reflect, that would take a little bit more time. We don't like that. We don't like to waste time. But let me tell you this. Wasting that kind of time will get you where you need to go way faster. It's true, because you always reflect on, is that the next step? No, it feels uncomfortable, but I'm just going to trust. I'm just going to move forward. It's going to be okay. I'm going to do it. I have to let go of some things. All right, I'm going to do it. And then I can really step into and create faster. A good example for me was creating that course about emotions. Like, who am I to even teach about that? Again, there's Susan David. Listen to her TED Talk. 30 million views. Why am I supposed to create a course on that? Because nobody has yet. Nobody has created a simple course for the busy individual where you can have a cheat sheet and you just integrate that into your daily routine and make it a little easier on you so you can experience more peace and be more fulfilled and walk more on that path that you're destined to walk on. And so I was really dreading it. I was like, I can't do it. I shouldn't. Oh no. 5 years ago, I created an online course. I lost about $50,000 on this whole thing just by everyone I hired to do the work and everything that just came with it. And I was like, I can't do it. I can do it. And God was like, you need to. I'm like, I don't want to. And it came back to me having to release some of those trapped emotions around that course, the disappointment, the grief, the sadness that was coming with it. I had to go through the grieving process for this program. And then within a week, I just had the content together. I was able to record the videos, write the cheat sheets for you guys, and just find the right people to support me in this project to be able to launch it. It came so easy. I don't think I've ever created anything that easy. And that's when you know, okay, God, I did take the step. I guess I was supposed to do this. But it was through my emotions that God communicated with me saying, hey, listen to me. Listen to me. So this is another reason why it is for me so important that you know about your native language and understand it and understand the message. And so I need you and I want you to sign up for this course. Not because I want to make money, it doesn't matter. I'm still not going to give it to you for free. Sorry, I put too much work into it. But it really is a great transformational tool for you for your everyday life, to take a look at yourself and again to learn to reflect instead of react. When we reflect more, we can create deeper relationships, better relationships, more successful relationships, and success relies completely on relationships. There was my camera off. I moved too much. Relies completely on relationships. See how this is all a ripple effect. So this is something that I want to share with you that came up for me last Sunday. God is speaking to us still in today's world, just with little different tools that we might be able to understand. And one tool is your emotions, and listening to that and understanding it and letting go of those old non-serving relationships that we have currently with our emotions, letting them go and recreating them so we can honor all that shows up, because there's a time for everything. There's a time to mourn, there's a time to dance, there is a time to grieve, there's a time for sadness. You've heard it, you've read it, and it's true. So just wanted to tell you that it might be really profound work to listen more to what your emotions are trying to tell you. Were you out of alignment with who you are? Have an amazing, amazing day, and I'll talk to you soon, guys. Bye!